lives in the East Riding of Yorkshire, and this is my podcast about my handmade life. You can find me on Instagram as Louleigh_, on Ravelry is Louleigh, and I have an Etsy shop, Shop Louleigh, where I sell knitting accessories and sewing patterns. And you can find links to all of my online places at louleigh.com. It's really lovely to be taking a little time to have a chat with you this morning. I wanted to thank everybody who bought my buckets and bags patterns, who've purchased them over the last couple of weeks. Thank you so much. The response has been really lovely, and I've seen some wonderful buckets popping up on Instagram already. So please use the hashtag #SewLouleigh, because it really does make my day seeing your projects. Today I'm actually wearing my custom fit cardigan. This was the cardigan I made when I helped beta test for custom fit, and I made it out of one of the first sweater quantities I bought from Blacker Yarns when I first discovered them at Wonderwool, and this is a Jacob yarn. And I have on here a brooch that I was given by Pia from the Camabornia podcast at Edinburgh Yarn Festival. I was going to say this morning, this year. And I believe it was made by Patricia from Knitography, so that's really nice. I don't usually accessorise using brooches because I don't usually feel like, well, I quite often wear a shawl or something, so I don't really feel like I have a place to put them. But this cardigan feels a little bit tailored and more like a jacket, so I thought that was really nice just to add that on there with some Norwegian birch. This is community news, and the Advent mini skein swap quarter three already is coming to a close at the end of this week. On the 1st of July I'm going to pair everybody up to swap mini skeins again. I've also started working on a Advent sock pattern. A very dear friend of mine asked me to do a pattern that didn't require her to do maths. It does require counting, you can't get away from that. But yeah, she wanted the maths all spelt out, and so stand by, there will be quilting. I've started working on the pattern and the sample for that, and I'm using these mini skeins. This was a set that I got from Louleigh Family Yarns that I purchased from them, and that's been really fun. So this is my sock so far with all the colours going in there. Actually, I'm really excited. I almost feel like I want to switch this off and just knit another stripe. And I'm using the base colour here is a yarn that I got from Eden Cottage. Let me just look up. It is their Tempo 4-ply base in the Hedgerow colourway, and I believe the Tempo 4-ply is just it feels like quite a hard wearing, tightly spun sort of, yeah, wool nylon sock yarn. This is going to sound negative. When you first cake it up, it feels stringy, and I'm really intrigued to wash this and see how it softens. And I don't mind socks that aren't made from ultra soft yarn. I feel that that will make this much more robust. So yeah, that is the sample for my Advent sock pattern, and the pattern will include instructions for a 12 stripe sock and a 24 stripe sock. So this is the 12 striper because there were 12 minis. Yeah, so if you want to join in the swap, then please pop over to the Ravelry group. There is still this swap and one more to go, and so if you haven't started collecting mini skeins for your advent calendar, you can ask to have 2 swap buddies in each of those swaps so that you can catch up if you want to. And you don't have to be making an advent calendar for yourself or knitting advent socks. You can just join in if you want to swap minis. We also have the magnificent Louleigh Yoke along happening in the Ravelry group for people knitting garments with a yoke. And I have been knitting along on my Guthrie cardigan. This is a jersey pattern by Caitlin Hunter, and I have decided that I'm going to stick it. I'm not sure, I think I showed this to you last time, and I think I'm a little further along. I had a wee bit of a mishap while I was social knitting, but I fixed that now. That's okay. And it's just a little bit obsessive just to do a little bit more on this, and yeah, not much else to say about that except that I'm enjoying it. And if you're knitting a garment that has a yoke construction, it doesn't have to have colour work. It could be a lace pattern, or you know, just a yoke construction with nothing there at all. I don't know if there is a pattern like that. Anyway, if you're knitting a pattern that has a yoke construction, top down or bottom up, then come and join us. Recently I've been doing quite a lot of secret knitting, but it means that I kind of feel like I need something to do that isn't knitting, so I have gotten my spinning wheel out again. Actually, I wanted to show you something else. Wait on. So I'd had my I have 2 spinning wheels. I have a Major Craft Little Gem, and I have a Woolmaker's Bliss single treadle spinning wheel. And I had the Woolmaker's Bliss downstairs with a project on it that I wasn't really into, and so I decided just to, and I've been wanting to sell that wheel as well. I just don't feel that I'm spinning enough to warrant owning 2 wheels at the moment, and I do favour my little gem. I like Bliss a lot, but yeah, I really like my little gem wheel, and it's smaller, it just fits in my house more easily, so I wanted to clear that off and to get all the bits together and to sell it. So I took the project off, and I had quite a lot of a single that I'd been working on, but I just wasn't in love with it. I wasn't invested in the project, and so I took a little lump of the fibre and just started wrapping the single around it with the intention of throwing it in the bin. But it made this really lovely ball, and so yeah, it just is so tactile and nice, and so I have popped this in the washing machine a couple of times. I'm not sure if the fibre was superwash or not. It was some really nice fondant fibre batlines, but I thought I'm going to put it in the wash a few more times and just see if it will get a little bit more felted and matted. I've thought about embroidering into this, and I was looking at, I might have this wrong, is it Tomari balls? Tomari? Something like that. That are made, that kind of like a Japanese tradition where you wrap and embroider into the ball in a geometric pattern. So I don't know if I'll get to trying something like that. There are definitely some really lovely ones on the interwebs, and I'm not sure if this is actually a sphere. Yeah, but this turned out to be really good fun. It's just really nice and tactile and squishy, and I don't know if I'll get around to trying this again, but I thought it would be really nice to do it using some lavender or something in the middle. Yeah, it's just what I thought was going to be rubbish has turned into something that I rather like, just as an object. So I went for a rummage in my fibre stash and found a really nice braid of porpoise fur Romney, and I just undid the braid and folded it in half and divided it in two, and then I split it down into strips and have been spinning that up. So I just have to ply this now, and it's going to be fine for me, quite a fine 2-ply yarn, probably a light fingering, I think. I've done a little twisty and have left it downstairs, so I can't show you, but anyway, so yeah, that will be the job for the weekend, is to ply that up and just see what sort of yarn it would make. I also decided to kickstart my spinning mojo by treating myself to some new fibre, and so I made a purchase from Hilltop Cloud, and that is a shop that is based in Wales, who has a lovely selection of fibre. And so I picked up this braid of Shetland top. If you're not familiar with spinning, this is what I mean by a braid. It's actually just a long crochet chain. I really liked the colours in this one, so I thought I would just treat myself and get this on my wheel as soon as possible, just to keep up the momentum. Yeah, they also sent me a little sample of another fibre which is really interesting. It says, if you can see this, giant Himalayan stinging nettle, which sounds really brutal. But let me get this out. The fibre actually looks like hair. It has a little bit of a luster. Really interesting. And I was thinking that actually there's probably enough here, if I wanted to card it in with some wool fibre and then to try spinning it into a sock yarn, because this is a longer plant fibre, and it would probably add some strength to a sock yarn. It's focusing in the wrong place. How's that? Yeah. So I think that would be a really interesting little sample to try out. I think there's enough there to blend in with like 100 grams of a wool fibre, and then to spin that together. So that was very intriguing. And with my Shetland fibre, I've been inspired by Rainbow Ange from the Yarn and Yarns podcast to do a fractal spin with this. And basically that is a way of dividing up the colours so that they blend together and stripe in an interesting way. And I've done this before. So this is a shawl that I made quite a while ago. It's been folded up, and I used 200 grams of Corriedale that was dyed by Easy Knits, and as you can see it kind of has a striping effect to it. And this is a pattern by Anthony Casalina, and it's the Castra shawl, which kind of shows off the colour variations really nicely. So my plan is, with the Hilltop Cloud Shetland fibre, to to do that again. And I'm kind of planning to take a little film for you so that I can explain better what I mean by a fractal spin, and you can see how I divide the fibre up for that. So hopefully I can include that next time. So those are the things that I've been working on recently. I think my focus for the next couple of weeks will be on a bag that I'm making for a friend. I need to finish that one off. And the Playdate cardigan that I've been knitting for the Hairy Man's new granddaughter. So yeah, it's been so nice to sit and have a little chat with you. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed yourself, and come and join us in the Ravelry group. It would be really lovely to meet you over there. And until next time, cheerio!